Hello Sagittarius, and this is your year ahead, Sagittarian Club year ahead, okay, 2018. So if you're, you know that I do this Sagittarian Club, so I do extras for Sagittarius, so so please subscribe to my channel so you get these extra readings that I do, okay. Let's have a look here for Sagittarius now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in sections. This is going to be for the general, and the next one is going to be, I'm going to do two, one for general, one for love, okay. And I'm also going to pull in some planetary aspects here too, because I've actually been studying and researching the planets, well, one or two of them that will affect us during 2018, so I'm also going to pull that into with also with the spiritual guidance here. So I'm just going to pop my glasses on, and I'm just going to so much going on really for 2018. Now I have to say, I think we all know about this, that the last, I'd say 2.5 years for Sagittarius has been quite difficult, okay. And there's ways we could have is there ways we could have dodged the bullets? I'm not sure, but I do feel that with the Mercury retrograde and Saturn being in our sign too, has been a nightmare for the last 2.5 years. Saturn has been in our sign in some aspects, and Mercury retrograde quite a number of times too, last 2.5 years. So Saturn is moving out of our sign, and that's in January. Which Saturn will be then going into Capricorn, okay. And this is going to be like a weight lifted. It's going to be like a weight lifted off our shoulders, believe it or not, that this Saturn is moving out of our sign. So I wanted to research the planets as well as doing the tarot as well on top of this, and the oracle. So I'm just going to pull out these kind of energies I've got here. Okay, yeah, Saturn is no longer going to be in our sign, okay. Saturn is no longer going to be in our sign, and from January, and I get this feeling of that you will start to feel more like yourself, okay, because of this reason. I'm just going to pull a card on that. So what will be generally for the year here, and it's saying to me go for the angel, not the angel cards, the heart oracle deck for this, okay. That's what I'm going to do for this general reading. I just feel that the last 2.5 years has been like taking, and I think I've mentioned this a number of times, it's like taking 5 or 6 steps forward and then maybe 10 back, or at times like starting from the beginning, I get that too. So it's like we've moved on from things that's caused us distress or issues due to this Saturn, okay, and Mercury retrograde. Things have not worked out. Things have not worked out. It seems like the relationships that we've had have not worked out how they should have worked out, or maybe there's a reason for that, but other reasons. I do get that we've been sort of pushing really hard to get through last 2.5 years, and I'm not kidding, okay. And I get lots of like new starts and trying to get over one obstacle to the other obstacle, you know. So I've worked very hard on pulling this out to see where we go. Okay, so we're going to feel more like ourselves right off the bat into January, okay, which is brilliant. Okay, that's going to be, you're going to feel more authentic, you're going to feel more of an innovator, being more creative, speaking from your core, you know. And I feel that these hardships that you've been through the last 2.5 years have made you stronger, okay. So pulling a card out here, what are the energies for, got the Heart Oracle here of feeling more ourselves. What are the energies? Well, this is a good card to have. I've got joy and stability, so being more yourselves here, and this is going to bring joy and stability. That's great. And I do get, you know, when you express yourself as you are, you know, as the person you are authentically, you feel a lot more happier, and also you also draw in happiness when you can feel comfortable to be who you are. So well, this sounds really like too good to be true, I know, but this Saturn going out of our sign in January, there's going to be an end to difficulties, an end to depression. If you suffer from depression, suddenly this will be lifted, and restrictions. And also there's because you are traveller of the zodiac, and this has been kind of repressed in a way the last 2.5 years. I think for some of you, you've still travelled anyway, but wherever you've travelled to, it's not kind of worked out, you know. So it's like you've tried to do that, but it's not, something's, you know, gone a bit awry. You know, you may have gone, you know, to a hot country and suddenly they've got some kind of snowfall they've not had for years, and you know, you kind of think, well, I've just come from this, from England. So, what is this? So it's like everything you've done has kind of gone against the grain. Yeah, so travel, I get travel coming back in here right off the bat in January. I'm not saying you're going to go travelling in January, but there's this travel right through 2018. There's travel, okay, because that's who you are. You are the traveller of the zodiac. You are the adventurer. I think Saturn, the last 2.5 years, and I keep going back to the last 2.5 years because this is what we're going away from. Okay, the last 2.5 years, you've just felt as if you've always got yourself in some kind of tight spot that you cannot get out of, and you feel repressed by this, and this is like releasing you from this tight spot here, this feeling of being trapped in something. And right, okay, this Saturn, which has caused this problem, as well as Mercury retrograde, as actually is not going to return to Sagittarian for 20 years, okay? It's not going to return for 20 years. So we will get these issues, or we will feel these energies again in 20 years, but I think we may prepare for this next time, okay? I remember when, you know, that happened before. So there will be tight spots, or there'll be the same kind, not the same things, but different things, okay? But that's not going to be for the next 20 years. And there has been issues with Saturn in our sign, that we've been forced by circumstances, you know, forced by circumstances, that energy. And this has brought sadness, because we've been forced by circumstances to do something, and it's brought sadness here, feeling stuck, and I get that hemmed in. Saturn's good for work and getting your head down, and like being stuck in a place so you can do your work. But again, I still feel that's been an issue. But for love, this Saturn last 2.5 years has been, you know, has not been a good thing for us, okay, because we felt under pressure, very under pressure and emotional. And the Saturn for work, Saturn is very much a practical sign, like for work and business. Okay, we've been tested, to say the least. We've been tested here, to say the least. And Sagittarius, tested financially. Okay, so I've got here now Saturn's moving out of our chart. We have to watch, it's not so much the emotions, it's actually, we have to now watch for the financial side, because Saturn's moving into Capricorn, where in Capricorn it's going to bring back their power, okay. And for us, it's now we've got to really watch the business side of things, the finances, and I think if we're aware of that, we can be astute and watch you know, our careers, our business, and make sure we put double the effort in, double the hours in, double the minutes in to succeed. Because when Saturn moves out of our charts, which governs like practicalities, then we need to be watching that like a hawk, okay. So finances for this, feeling more ourselves. So is feeling more ourselves being broke? So I get here strengthening bonds, so it's very much emotional. You know, the more emotional side is coming through rather than the practical. And it's about strengthening bonds in 2018. Yeah, where does that take us then? As I'm looking at this, what I did yesterday, this research that I've done. I'm looking at the road that we should take here. Definitely watching the money aspect, studying and making sure that you've got everything in place there, because that slips, you know. So looking at responsibility for your health too. Very good for 2018, very good for taking responsibility for our health and well-being. That's mentally, physically, mentally and physically and emotionally. So it's very, very good 2018 for that, focus on that. So making sure we're getting fulfilled emotionally by what we've learned from the last 2.5 years, not 2017, the last 2.5 years. What have we learned from that? How can we kind of educate ourselves to filter, these situations? Yeah. Yeah, be careful financially. I've got that. Okay, for strengthening family bonds and relationship bonds and emotional bonds as per se. it says here that we need to be careful right from January, and I got a message here that we need to be at least taking out of our earnings on a weekly basis to put by for a rainy day, okay, because you know, because, sorry about that, what happened there, because of this Saturn going out of our sign. It says right from the bat in January, take out 10% of your earnings every week, and put it into a savings account for a rainy day. And don't, you know, keep doing that. Now, I'm going to start doing that too, because I've actually took notes, took heed of this message. Okay, although we may be broke, and in January after Christmas and beyond, okay, focusing, making sure that we're earning is to, well, I can't afford 10%, make sure you do take 10% out of your earnings. It's very important. And you know, if you've just got like $500 or something, take $50 out. And you think, well, I can't afford to do that. Well, work around that, you know, cut down on things, put that 10% to one side, because this is the message I'm getting for 2018, that we do need to do that. Whether you've got a business, just in case things, you know, do go wrong. So every effort counts here, with starting from now actually. Discipline yourself here. Discipline yourself over your finances this year, this coming 2018, and also discipline. I get very good for watching our health too, watching our health and cleansing our bodies and disciplining over our bodies too from January. Now that's something that I am going to be focusing on is my health in 2018. So if any of you guys want to join me for that, please do. I think I will do a video on that, and it will be strengthening the core, not muscular core, but strengthening the you know, your authentic core, your inner core emotionally as well as physically. Okay, so I will be looking at that, because it's something that Sagittarians are going to be interested in 2018. So taking care financially, disciplining yourself, and financially, if we do this, Spirit Guide, if we do actually put the 10% aside here, pull out the stops when it comes to business, when it comes to work, promotions, projects. If we do take this course of action, what will transpire for 2018? And I do get from Spirit, you need to do this, you need to be more disciplined. I get alone, and I do pick that up too, that a lot of you will be working alone, feeling alone doing this. If you've got a business, if you've got a freelance situation, you feel alone in this. And I do get that anyway for 2018, working alone, but it says here that you'll thrive, I can't say it, thrive working alone. And is it working alone? You know, it's not a bad thing. This is what this is saying. It's not a bad thing working alone. If you've got a research project to do, if you've got a project to sit down and work out, if you've got you know, a report to set out, things like that, if you've got your business or your finance, this working alone, you will you know, your finances will thrive because of it. Okay. And studying too, and studying alone. So there is going to be this sense of being alone, but you're going to thrive doing it, which is this is what it's pointing you towards, which is a positive thing. Okay, it's not negative. And then we move on to the core again, cleansing the body and having the self-worth here, because the last 2.5 years we kind of, our spirit was kind of, you know, that flame might have been blown out of our spirit the last 2.5 years, and it's time to reclaim that back. Okay, and this is looking at our self-worth, you know, and you know, this is what I'm worth. I'm not going to take this BS anymore, you know, from people, and you know, really kind of being strict about that too. Being realistic on the sort of people, you know, realistic expectations of people's expectations of you. You know, if they are expecting you to be this miracle woman or man that's going to take all their problems away, be realistic to them, be strict about that, because I feel that's what's happened in the last 2.5 years, is people have seen you as their kind of saviour. So it's like reminding them realistically, I'm not going to save you. You're going to have to work your butt off to get what you want in life. I'm not going to do that for you. And you know, so filter these people too, who do have these high expectations of you that are not realistic. Okay. And it's seeing your self-worth to be able to say that. Things are going to come in faster than they did last 2.5 years as well. So you may get love coming in faster, you may get money, you know, things coming. I don't feel the money aspect, but I don't know, things are going to move into your life faster than the last 2.5 years, and you think you're going to be quite surprised. Oh my god, I had so much restrictions for the last, you know, in the past, that I can't believe this is happening now. I've got 10 buses coming along when I was waiting for a bus for like 2 years, you know, that kind of thing. So I've got here, assess situations and assess these if they are realistic or unrealistic. I've got that very much so. And look at your self-worth. Yeah, look at your self-worth, and I've got that, and this is what we're going to work on, guys, in 2018, looking at our self-worth here and upgrading. It's all about evolving, upgrading. We're upgrading because we've been through this restricted time, 2.5 years, that we're now evolving from this, and we're upgrading from this. Does this make sense? I feel with a heavy heart, because I feel that we've been through some of us have been through some horrible times, and it's like learning from these heavy situations, which is not easy, you know, and it's like this heaviness to this, but also we've got this heaviness, and we've got this extreme positivity that's like coming in fast, and we're starting to feel more like ourselves. Thinking, God, I went through all that garbage and that BS. What did I learn from that? What did I learn from that? And what you've learned from that here is how to be more strict, okay, and upgrade yourself to evolve above these people, above these situations that happened previously, okay. When Saturn was in our sign and Mercury retrograde was in our sign, So it's kind of raising above that. Okay, so I get here upgrading yourself, not upgrading yourself property wise, clothing wise, physically, mentally, upgrading. It's all evolvement. So once you upgrade one thing, it'll be the next thing, it'll be the next thing that you slowly, and you think, God, this is coming in too fast, I'm upgrading myself here. And I see relocation to, instead of an apartment, it's going to be a house. You know, you think, wow, I'm upgrading to a house. And or I'm upgrading to working at home as freelance, and I can work wherever I want to work in the world. And it's like I can choose, I've got choices, I'm not restricted anymore. And it's that kind of feeling here, if that makes sense. So I get relocation, travel, I get for for the late, not late, but sort of the summer months going into October, November, I see relocation, travel, even emigration here. Working alone, freelance, I've got that too, or business. And November, we're talking about Jupiter. And this is why we have to put this 10% away up until November, well, and beyond if you can, because when Jupiter enters our sign in November, or enters some aspect of our sign in November, we are going to become more successful in business, financially. Jupiter is our sign. Jupiter is Sagittarian sign, and when that sign comes in November, we are going to, all of this evolvement that we've prepared ourselves for this Jupiter movement back into our sign. It's like a sigh of relief. It's like, I've got my own sign back into, you know, oh gosh. And it's like all this that's coming fast for you, all this evolvement, all this upgrading, all this relocating is ready for this Jupiter. And this is going to, woof, this is going to be success. Okay, not for all of you, well, I hope for all of us. I'm actually extending for all of us here. So in terms of pulling out some cards here, when Jupiter comes in November, there's a great transition and for success and a return. It seems like a return or a revisit to the past, not a place in the past, a location in the past, somewhere that you felt that you wanted it to work out and it didn't work out, but this time you want to return there. Let's say that you went to let's say you live in New York and you wanted to make it work out in California and it never worked out, but you love that place, it's so beautiful. Or let's say you lived in England and you went to, you know, live in France, south of France or Italy or wherever, and you absolutely loved it, but you couldn't afford to live there any longer and you had to return, or you had to and it didn't work out. This is a return back to that location, a return to your past, back to a place, back to people that are going to you know, the people that you got close to, made bonds with. And I get this here, strengthening bonds here, strengthening bonds. And these people are going to say, where have you been? You know, we've been here, what, you know, we wondered where you've gone. And this is going to bring joy and stability. You know where you're going to belong. You know where you're going to belong. And you're going to follow your heart here. This is where your heart belongs. Okay. Reevaluating a place that you should have been, and this you know, Saturn actually put so many kind of difficulties and restrictions in your way. There's a warning here as not to be impulsive, in 2018 financially. Don't buy that big ticket item. Okay, it says here that you could relocate, which may take money, but it's about grounding yourself. But it says just be careful of impulsiveness, you know, impulsiveness. Instead of being impulsive, be actually quite filter people. Okay, filter, and filter friendships, filter romantic attachments, filter bonds, and protect yourself. You know, if somebody is making a fool of you in public, or you know, just say your piece. Just say, I don't like you talking like that. You know, I'm grown up here and I don't want you to talk about me like that, and just walk away, or just you know, carry on with a conversation with somebody else. I think, you know, don't get angry, but don't get angry as well, and impulsively angry. Be mindful and say, I'd appreciate it if you didn't. And somebody say, oh, you're so sensitive, and you're not like that. You're not like that anymore, because you can say, no, I'm not sensitive, I'm actually a grown up and I don't want you to speak to me in that way, you know. So filtering these friendships, filtering these people around you, relocating and reconnecting with people that actually cared about you. Yeah. And there's a reconnection, bonding. So I'm just going to pull out a card here again. Yeah, don't be it's like seeking the truth in people. Yeah, coming together. You know, there's like seeking the truth here, going back to something, returning to something, just seeking that truth again. And you feel, oh well, what if it doesn't work again? But before it was a different situation. I've got win or lose, and it is, because you know, you are going to come together with people and bond with people that you know that you had to leave behind just for a while here. That makes sense. Okay, that takes us to Jupiter coming in, success in November, strengthening bonds, filtering, returning back, relocation, travel. Jupiter putting 10% away of your earnings just to cover, you know, that loss of the Saturn there, and just putting it away for that rainy day. Jupiter's coming in back, you know, into our, that is our sign, Jupiter, so that's coming in, and we're going to see this big transition, and we're going to upgrade. So that sounds pretty good to me, guys. I don't know about you. Now I'm going to see yeah, because I got forced by circumstances when it comes to love. Forced by circumstances because of Saturn. So what I'm going to do is look at the love cards, okay, and just with this general side here, just put down any kind of comments that you feel here, you know, that you feel that you know relates to you, that you can you know, that you connect with here, okay, at the bottom. If you'd like your own general reading, I'll just put it here while I'm doing this reading. Please put an email at the bottom here. Just put an email at the bottom. I'm not going to cut that out. Please email me. My email is at the bottom there. Sorry about that. And you know, give me an email. I will send you my tarot if you'd like your own year ahead each year. So I'm going to be doing a 2018 love reading for Sagittarian Club. Okay, thank you.